Welcome back to WagerTalk.com. I'm Marco D'Angelo, joined in studio with Ralph Michaels. We're going to tackle the big one. Michigan, Ohio State. A lot on the line here for these two teams as far as the national championship goes. This is an elimination game for sure. It's the biggest game, people say, college football rivalry. I know there's some other teams that would beg to differ, but this is the one. In Urban Meyer, Jim Harbaugh, what do you think? And I know you're a big Ohio State guy, so let's get the unbiased opinion here. What are you looking at?
It's been there, done that, against a lot of hype. Yeah. Now, Michigan's got an excellent team. We know that. I have them in the top 10, both offense and defense. Again, I have them my number 10 offense, my number 2 defense. But the reality is this. Michigan has not played a ranked team on the road in the 2 years under Harbaugh. This will be the first step. This year, this is only their 4th road game. Their first 2 road games, at Michigan State and at Iowa, they win the first one in a close game. They lose the second. Combined yards, they were plus 6 yards. Combined minus 2 first downs in those 2 games. So you have either a banged-up quarterback or a quarterback making the start at Ohio State in the big game. And Urban Meyer, 10-3 against AP top 10s at Ohio State. The line, again, Ohio State to win the game. As far as covering a 7-point spread, I'm going to step back a little bit and say Urban Meyer tends to be very conservative when he has a lead. We saw it in Penn State. It cost them. They were happy with a 10-point lead, field goal blocked, punt blocked, lose the game. So that keeps Michigan within the spread with that conservative play calling.
Now, last week, obviously, both teams, you got to say, were in look-ahead mode. You know, Ohio State playing Indiana, in Michigan in their game. The quarterback situation at Michigan, there's no way that Spike can come back and, you know, they got him listed as questionable, but how could he play with a broken collarbone?
It's Harbaugh. You know, this guy didn't want to release a depth chart against Hawaii, so he's going to pull every ploy. I expect him not to play, and even if he does, you'd rather have a healthy quarterback that's subpar versus the better quarterback who's injured, especially against this Ohio State defense.
Now, the Ohio State defense has played well all year long. The offense has had some games where they've been sporadic. Obviously, they had the 2 games where they put up 62 points on back-to-back weeks, but we've seen a few weeks where the offense struggled and they just got by. Is this something that we should be concerned about? Because this will be obviously the best defense that they've seen.
Michigan has the best pass defense in the Big Ten, and a lot of that is because of Jabril Peppers being able to line up in so many spots. You know, if there's a tight end he needs to cover, if there's a running back he needs to cover, he can do that. But, you know, the issue is this. Ohio State had a couple key guys missing last week against Michigan State. Plus, you had a lot of wind, which affects the game. There won't be any wind this week. It'll be 40s. It'll be beautiful temperatures for this type of game in November. But without the wind, I think it gives the benefit to Bear because he has the ability to throw the ball deep. He hasn't done it very well, but at least I think Ohio State, you'll see them throw deep at least once or twice in the first quarter just to open up the field.
All right. We got to put the gun to your head on this one here. What are you looking at?
You know what? I think the number's about right. I will say this, and Scott brought this up in an earlier video, was public money. You know, the line opened at 7, and I think it came down quick because so many people are on Michigan futures that they want to bet Michigan this game. I would lean towards the under. I think, again, the conservative offense, both teams will look to run the ball. If I had to play a side, I would lean with the favorite, but not very much.
Yeah, my numbers, I have Ohio State by 7. Not enough for me to get involved in this one. On paper, it does look like you got to look to the under, but so often I see these big games where you're expected it, and then all of a sudden you get 1 or 2 plays that change the complexion of the game. You know, when you get a total that's in the 40s, it doesn't give you a lot of room for error in college football if you get a turnover or 2. And my concern is with the Michigan quarterback because I am not impressed with O'Korn with what he did last week. He definitely struggled. 7 of 16 for 59 yards, and Indiana's not known for their pass defense, that's for sure. So that's it. I got to ask you, and they do this every year, why do they put this game at noon?
You know what? Because it's the game. There's only been 2 in this series. I believe they've played 118 times. Only 2 games have not been at noon. One was the 06 one against 2, which was a 3:30 game. You know, I think it's just tradition. It's Big Ten. You know, Big Ten never wanted to go play Friday football. They finally let in next year. It's just a tradition of a noon game, not having lights, getting played on the field. And again, you know, why go against Auburn, Alabama if you're the TV networks at 3:30 when you don't need to? So a little bit of both.
If I'm an AD, I'd want the game at 8 o'clock at night and have the crowd juiced all day.
Never will happen.
All right, there you go. Ralph leans to the under. I have a slight lean to Ohio State, but I'll probably just be watching this one and enjoying it. It's going to be a fun game to watch. Don't forget, guys, weekend all access Thursday through Monday. We want to say thank you from Wager Talk. This Thanksgiving, sign up. $69 normally. You can get it for just $39 this week at Wager Talk. Be sure to check it out. You can get it Thursday, $39. Get everything Thursday through Monday from your favorite capper. That would include all of his plays and any big 5 or 6% releases that they would have that weekend. We'll be back with more here at WagerTalk.com.